there, Booksy. Welcome back to my channel. It's the 1st of July and I'm starting a reading vlog. One of the goals of this first few days in July is going to be to read the books that I had told you guys about. I did a page 112 tag where I chose 3 new releases while I was in Barnes & Noble, and the goal was to see which of them I would buy. I couldn't choose. I asked you to choose. I still wasn't sure which one. So what I decided to do was to try to reserve them from the library, and of the 3 books, when I read them from the library, I'll see which one, if any, I love enough to want to own for my own shelves. So far I have 2 of the books out from the library. I'm waiting for the 3rd to come in, and when I get the 3rd book and I've read all 3 of them, then I'll be able to decide. So this vlog is gonna be a little bit of my reading those books and deciding. Stay tuned. These are 2 of the books that I'm planning to read during this reading vlog. These are 2 of the 3 books that I identified when I went to Barnes & Noble, and I reserved all 3 of them from the library. These are the 2 that came in. I think I'm gonna start with this one first, just because I have this author's other book, Lily and the Octopus, on my TBR shelf, and I've had it for a long time, and I don't know anything about this author. Not that I know anything about this one either, because I still haven't read Lily and the Octopus. But I feel like I'm a little bit more interested in this one just because it's about something bookish. It's about an editor. Although this is also about words. So I'm still going to go with this one first though.
Translational services. Our team around her seems like they're in it for the long
Closer. No. It's Wednesday, July 3rd. I'm home today. Should be going to the city, but I'm not. Mr. Brown convinced me to stay at home, which means that my silent rebellion is to read all day. 100 pages in and I'm enjoying the story. I'm not sure if it is right now as spellbinding as I thought it was going to be. It feels a little bit more like an ode to Jackie O than anything else. I'm finished. Reading The Editor by Stephen Rowley, and it's a little different book than I thought it was going to be, but I enjoyed a lot of things about it. I don't know how I'm gonna give this a review yet, but it's about a 30-something-year-old man. He's gay, he's a writer, he's living in New York, he's having a complicated relationship with his mother, and he's written a story about his family where he's fictionalizing his quest to understand his mother better. And his editor is Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis, and because of who she is, she forces him to ask some tough questions about his mother, ask some tough questions about his family, and where he fits in all of that. And he discovers some things about his family that he didn't know that he didn't know. And so in the process of him trying to find out what kind of person his mother is, separate and apart from her role in their family as wife and mother, he also learns a lot about Jackie O, but probably even more so about himself as it relates to who he is in the world. And I liked some things about it. I'm just not sure how wowed I was by it yet. So I'm finished. I'm going to be moving on to another book this afternoon because I'm still home. And we had lunch and we did some chores. I edited a video. No, I recorded a video. I need to edit it now. So I finished reading that, and now I'm going to read The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants by Anne Brashears, because if you can believe it, I have never read this book. I'm reading it now because of a prompt in a book challenge where I have to read a book that has an article of clothing in the title. And I figured it was as good a time as any to read this one because I haven't. So this is my book for the rest of the afternoon. Good morning. It is 4th of July. I'm gonna get up. Well, he's already up. But I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna go get some breakfast and probably come back to bed and read some more. I woke up early. I did some reading. I read Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. I was hoping to finish it last night, but I didn't. I watched videos instead. So I'm hoping to finish that this morning, and then I'm gonna start another book. It's July 4th and I'm already going rogue on my TBR, but I'm gonna be reading this book today. All Quiet on the Western Front by Eric Maria Remarque. I think that's how you pronounce this name. I don't know. It's supposed to be the greatest war novel of all time. It's a mass market paperback, a little over 300 pages. And no, not quite, 270 pages.
Excellent.
Yeah. You wouldn't let me buy candy earlier, so I'm not even. It's a nation of immigrants. So 4th of July don't mean the same thing to everybody.
No.
There's something on your face. So we just stopped to get some passport photos. It's 4th of July, and you could do business on the holiday, it seems.
It's Semis Day, but I think that was the only name I could remember
Yeah, probably.
from when he told me. Who's that?
How could you forget Doug? I don't know how Doug didn't get invited to the wedding.
I know. Go to the camp. No.
Right?
Never get to go.
You wanted to be brown.
Don't want anything too popular, man.
Friday, July 5th. Yesterday I was hoping to finish a book. I didn't. I made some progress. I'm still reading All Quiet on the Western Front. And I didn't read Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, but I'm hoping to get back to that today because it's a really easy read. I didn't get a lot of reading done yesterday. We had couple time. We hung out, we laughed, we joked, we spent time together, we had dinner. I did a little bit of vlogging, but we spent time together. Who needs books when you have company?
I'm gonna say I take a call from home if there's an emergency, but I'm not, you know.
Friday, July 5th, I'm here to share my Friday reads. It's been a surprisingly bookish week. I've only finished 2 books, but I've started a few others. It's breakfast time. We're going to a camp meeting this morning, so I'm making ackee and saltfish. So we're taking this to our camp meeting. We have to drive about 2 hours to get to our campsite, and we want to have breakfast when we get here.
You've been my provider, oh, so many times. You've met my needs, and so many times you've rescued me. I wanna thank you, Lord. Oh,
It's almost 11 o'clock and we just got home not too long ago. It was a long day, but it was a fun day. And I almost didn't vlog anything because I just forgot. I was having a really good time. I was hanging out with my friends and some of my family, and it was beautiful. It was hot, it rained. When the rain was falling, my phone was in the car, and I thought about recording some of the excitement of the rain and us being trapped under a canopy. But I just didn't have my phone with me, and so I just enjoyed the event. And so you're going to have to believe me that I'm exhausted because of all the fun that I had. Sorry I didn't record it to share it with you. Suffice it to say, no reading got done today. So this is the end of Saturday, July 6th. No vlogging, no reading. But we'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow we'll get some reading done. Good night. Sunday morning, it's really early. It's a little after 7. I don't have to really be up until about 9. We have youth group today. We have some outdoor things planned, but the weather doesn't look like it's gonna allow us. So, but first still I'm gonna drink some of this coconut water that I planned to drink yesterday and didn't. I have a pear. I still have some cherries that we brought with us yesterday, and I'm making a sandwich. Yeah, it looks heavy, but I'm hungry. That's what happens when you travel all day the day before. You wake up starving. We're back from club meeting and I'm gonna go get some reading done. I'm actually reading this book right now, A Little History of the World by E.H. Gombrich. I have a student that I tutor and I'm gonna be working with him during the summer. He has to read this book in preparation for his high school global history class. So I'm gonna read this in preparation for our discussion tomorrow, and I'm also gonna watch some booktube videos. I have a lot of booktube videos to catch up on. So let's see how much of this I can get done before I fall asleep, because I'm still pretty tired from yesterday. Let's just face facts. Might not get too much of this read this afternoon. Took a little Sunday afternoon nap. My husband was beside me. I woke up and he was gone, so I'm gonna go look for him. I think he's outside doing what he said that we were gonna do this afternoon. Seen the tomatoes before, and these are huge now. This one looks like it's starting to turn color, so I'm assuming it's gonna get red at some point. There are 5 big tomatoes on this bush. But this is unexpected. String bean. String bean. Oh yeah. Oh man. The peppers, they're a little stunted. This blossom has been on there since a long time. But it's coming. It's coming. We will not compare you to your older friend. There's a little blossoms here. See that? There's a little fruit coming out right back there. But we will not compare our children. Our children develop at different rates.
Yes.
We will be patient with them. These are the squash plants. Squash blossom, and the watermelon got a little mangled in the weeding process, but that's okay. It's got to recover. These are my 2 little herbs. I think this is basil and cilantro, so I never germinated. That was supposed to have been the curled parsley. The curled parsley, I mean, I don't even think this is how parsley is spelled. Harvested some mint to make some sweet mint tea for later. Getting the plantains ready for Sunday dinner. It is 7:30 in the evening. I just got home and this is my first attempt at vlogging anything all day. I just keep forgetting that I'm supposed to be recording everything. But I did come home to book mail. So regardless of all the disappointments of today, I have a brand new book. I ordered it last week. I wasn't sure how long it would take to come. So I also requested a copy from the library. And now my new copy is here for me. And although this is a nonfiction work, it is blurbed by Booker Prize winning novelist John Banville. He wrote the book The Sea, which I read last year and really like, and we'll be reading again pretty soon. I don't know when that's gonna come up in my Booker schedule, but I'm liking this book. I was reading my library copy and it is really interesting. It really breaks down the history of the world into bite-sized chunks. And the chapters are really short and they have these cool little illustrations. It's good. I'm recommending this book even though I've only read the first 2 chapters so far. This is also a pretty good copy. I bought this used on the Amazon site. It came from Thrift Books and they sent it to me pretty quickly. So I'm recommending them. I think I bought a book from Thrift Books last year and didn't love it and they replaced it. So I think this was a very good copy. And they did say that it might have a little bit of wear, but There's no writing in it, there's no highlighting, there's no former library stickers, which all of those things are unacceptable to me when I purchase a used book. So I like this one. I might buy something else from them. I'm going to be reviewing this book on my channel this morning, G by John Berger. This is a 1972 Booker Prize winner. So I'm going back through the novel. I read it in February and I didn't make my discussion video at the time. So just going back through the novel to find some key points that I wanted to bring out. As opposed to just giving an overview, I want to share some of the details. So I'm making sure that I have some of those written down. So I'm doing that over breakfast. Heading to meet baby girl. Snacks for the road. Yeah, we had some slightly different plans for the day, but when the baby is coming, she don't care about plans. So we're heading to Connecticut to meet the new baby girl. And all the other things just faded into the background. There used to be plans. Now they are just things that we thought we were gonna do today.
Yes.
Soon to be Uncle Brown. Uncle Mr. Brown.
Mm-hmm.
You want a cool nickname for the uncle? Uncle. Instead of uncle,
Unc.
call him Unc. Unc Brown. Unc B. Bunk. There's nothing that makes a road trip like snacks. And we're trying to be healthy this summer. So we're doing fruit snacks this time. Real fruits. Grapes and cherries.
I usually can.
But also potato chips. Who are we kidding? There's also cookies in the car. Okay.
For public library.
I think that we should make a stop.
Sure.
It says it's a place like no other.
See you in an hour.
Yeah, I mean the library probably closes at 5. She could wait another hour, right?
Yeah.
Getting some food with the rest of the family. We all came to visit the baby and the new mommy, and now we need to get some fuel for the road. Hey there, Booty, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the next in the series called A Closer Book. I just stopped off at the library and picked up my copy of The Mother-in-Law, which finally came in. So now I have all 3 books that I wanted to read for the page 112 tag video, where I have 3 new releases that I'm supposed to be choosing between. It's lunchtime and I have some leftover Chinese to eat while I'm reading Master Harold and the Boys by Afu Fugard. This is a play and it's really short. It's about 60 pages. 60 pages. So yeah, I should be able to finish this over lunch. I should get up, but I'm lying in bed reading this book and I could probably stay here and read this for another hour or so. Milkman by Anna Burns. A lot of people who've criticized it, when they mention the elements about the book that they don't like, there are elements that appeal to me. And in starting this book now, I'm finding that I do like those elements. The fact that people are referred to by their characteristics as opposed to their names, or at least that's what's introduced in the first chapter, where the main character, this female main character, talks about the people in her life and she calls them by their identity, their relationship to her, but never their names. The only person so far who seems to be named is Milkman, and we don't really know Milkman's identity yet. But in chapter 2 we get a strong contrast where she presents a list of actual names that are no longer allowed in her part of Ireland. I like that. So I'm liking this book. I don't know how far I'll be able to get this morning just because I have a lot of other reading that I need to do. I'm going to start off with my second book that I'm reading for my page 112 tag vlog. So I'm going to focus on that later today. This one I'm going to put it aside as soon as I get up. Don't know when that's going to be though. I'm about 50 pages into this book, and it's a family drama where we're meeting this older man and his adult children, and they all have things that they're addicted to, so they're all checking themselves into rehab. And a couple of them are failed actors and actresses, and there's a little bit of, you know, the feeling sorry for the rich person kind of thing that's happening, but it's interesting. I don't feel right now like this is going to be my favorite read of the 3 books, so we'll have to see how it goes as it progresses. I'm 50 pages in, and this is a almost 370 page novel, so a lot to happen in the next 320 pages, but we'll see. We'll see if it gets better, if it gets more interesting, if it gets more to be my type of book. We'll see. There's a word for that by Sloan Tannen. I'm at page 124. This is the end of this is the end of part 1 and the beginning of part 2. And 124 pages in, we've just covered what's in the synopsis from the publisher. So it's kind of an interesting book, but it does feel a little bit too crowded in that it feels like there are a little bit too many characters. The fact that each character is living in a different place and interacting with different people, we get a lot of side characters, and it's a little bit difficult sometimes keeping track with everybody who's in there and how everyone fits into their roles. But so far, it's interesting. So far, it's about a 3.5 star read for me. Not loving it, but I'm just gonna kind of fly through the rest of it and see whether it picks up in the next part. Sunday morning, we're heading back to Connecticut to visit the new baby, and so I'm making the snacks. Some green grapes washed, and I'm preparing the cherries. So we got some healthy snacks for the road trip. And now I'm gonna put together this floral arrangement for my sister-in-law. I have some greenery that I'm gonna take and mix with these roses. Spritz them a little bit with some water, so by the time we get to Connecticut, they're not all dried out. I think it's pretty cute. Came to watermelon vegetable patch and my blossom fell off. Look at that. It's on the ground, but there are others coming up, so that's good. They just need a little bit more care. Other news. Look at my tomatoes. Yes.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Okay. What's up, Mark?
They always been great.
So I finished reading There's a Word for That, and I liked it enough. I gave it somewhere between 3 and 3.5 stars. It's a family drama where all the members of the family are having their own problems, but the 2 families themselves are dysfunctional, and then there is a connection between the 2 families, and they don't find that out until the matriarch and patriarch of the 2 individual families are in rehab, and the children are visiting, and it's interesting. But there's a whole host of characters. It feels more like a family drama, as though you're reading a movie script. There's a whole lot of conversation. So the reading experience for me was, I think, affected by that. So I liked it, but I didn't love it. So I know this is definitely not my favorite of the three books. So I'm gonna move on to this one, The Mother-in-Law. Sally Hepworth's The Mother-in-Law is the one that I think I had the highest hopes for going in, just because I like the idea of reading about a book where the wife and the mother-in-law are having issues, and the mother-in-law thinks that the wife is trying to kill her or something like that. I don't remember the synopsis completely because I read it when I was at the bookstore a couple of months ago, and I haven't reread the synopsis since. But I'm just going to dive into the book and I'll let you know. Acknowledgements are at the front. Interesting. Well, I'm gonna call this Kismet. This V.S. Naipaul book has my name on it. I'm 150 pages into The Mother-in-Law by Sally Hepworth, and so far this is my favorite of the three books. I'm liking the alternating timeline and perspective of this novel. So it's following this woman named Lucy and her mother-in-law Diana. In the first chapter we learn that Diana has died from an apparent suicide, except that the police are investigating it as a homicide. And we alternate between Lucy present day and Lucy past, different points in her life, and following the relationship as she meets her mother-in-law, as the woman becomes her mother-in-law, and their relationship grows or stays static in a lot of ways. And then we also get Diana's perspective in the past, so we get to see some of the secrets that she has and how they affect the rest of the family members. I'm liking the writing. So far, this is my favorite of the three books. At this point, if I have to buy one of the three books, it's gonna be this one. Let's see how it ends. I finished The Mother-in-Law by Sally Hepworth, and this is by far my favorite of the three novels. It's written in a style like Liane Moriarty, in that we get these dual perspectives, dual timelines, and we're following what's leading up to an incident that is being investigated like it's a crime. And the characters are interesting by themselves, but the dynamics between all of them, especially the relationship between the wife and the mother-in-law, or the daughter and mother-in-law, I guess, is so interesting, so intriguing. There's a lot of character development for all the characters, both good and bad. The character arcs are delightful. There are a lot of children running around in this story, so it really reminds me a lot of Liane Moriarty. Also, it's set in Australia, which I didn't realize at the time, and I was thinking that I would do a little discussion about these books here in this video, but I think I'm gonna do a full closer book review of the three books, just so I can talk a little bit more in depth about them. So that's the end of this vlog. It is Monday, July 15th, which means that we're almost exactly halfway through the month. So this is my first reading vlog of the month. Sorry it took so long. I was planning to do this in 10 days, but that didn't happen. There were a lot of unexpected events that happened and all of it really good. I like how my life is, so I have no problem with the fact that this took a little longer than I had intended originally, but now it's over. I have a book that I need to read so I can review on the channel tomorrow for the book club. So that's first part of July wrapped up. Thanks for watching this vlog. I hope you'll come back for the next one. I hope you'll watch more of my videos. I have a lot of books to review, a lot of videos to make, lots of things to share with you. So if you haven't already, subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And let's talk in the comments. Let me know if you like reading vlogs and whether I should continue doing them. I'll probably do them anyway, but it would be nice to have your feedback. So let's talk down there. And until next time, happy reading. Bye.